100%. This is actually what I'm going to be doing. I've got this planned in. No. This is it. After 14 hours, this is exactly what's going to happen. Sun's going to be like just cresting over the horizon, kind of still dark. I'm going to pull up. There's going to be a table there waiting for me to lay on. I'm going to get off the bike. The mechanics are going to do what they have to do. I'm going to get straight off, lay on the table, get a doona pulled over me, get an eye mask over my eyes, and then Mum will say to me, good night. Maybe 30 seconds later, I'll slowly be massaged out of my nap. And then Mum will say, I'm not even kidding, Mum's going to say to me, wow, it's a new day. That's been a great sleep. You look so refreshed. Then I'll have my breakfast, which will be a smoothie. I'll have the breakfast which I've been having every day. So my mind thinks, oh, it's a new day. And then I'll get back on the bike and they'll say, oh yeah, cool. All you have to do is just ride to lunch and then ride to afternoon tea and it's done.
Melvin Sparks checking out the beat conductor Bad Live on the Blue Note record, keeping the funk alive. What's the wing fly?
On the TT. Get on the T on the drop bars, bro.
At back wheel. The rubber nice and low. This is a commuter TT. It's a 1K time trial from the bottom to the top. You just got to watch out for trams and pedestrians. It's like we're in the pro peloton. Oh, we got an attack. That's 44, that number plate's 44. I actually used to ski. I used to sit here and dream of having that job. Fuck, it's crazy being back. It's crazy being back, man. Do you know what it's like? There's an actual satisfaction to coming back to where you once were, but not being the same person. That's mega.
How are ya?
Cold, man.
Aren't you cold?
Freezing.
No, I'm actually alright.
We're just gonna roll down this. We're gonna roll down the street to a famous bagel place.
Famous bagel? Oh.
I forgot that you're anti-bagel, eh?
I'll have a bagel. I'm not anti-bagel. I'm just feeling a bit ripped off that there's less bread in the middle.
That's a good point. You gotta suck the guts in through these, man. Gotta keep the core tight. Yeah, we'll go left at the light.
Oi, bagel boy. Yeah.
What I'm worried about, Jake, there's not a lot of turnaround time before that won't melt. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like I've got to make a decision quick. I've got to execute fast. The bagel is a part of the carb loading routine. It's a 4-day eat fest. It's strategic, see? If it wasn't strategic, I'd get the vegan egg, the works. Yeah, I'm allowing myself some nut legs. Yeah, it's beautiful, right? This place is called Sable. It's really delicious. Sable. Our good friend Jansen recommended it. I've never been here before. Look at the train, man. Now coming back to Melbourne, I understand why people like Melbourne, and it's so you can do this and watch that and have. Now it's a train track and
There's a lot of variety.
It's like little tags on the pole. I think that's what it's about. So Ford's Proving Grounds in the Yuyangs, which is a mountain range, they have their own weather station on site, on the track, obviously for their testing. So for example, right now, direction is 390 degrees, so it's like northwesterly. And so it's saying the speed average is 9, the gusts are 10, ambient temperature is just under 15, humidity relative is 61%. I don't know what relative humidity is. The barometric pressure, this is interesting. It's just under 1,000 HPA, which is quite low. I think because rain's coming in. I think pre or post rain, the pressure drops. But it even says road temperature 10 degrees, which is quite low.
That's a good wind.
It's a cold.
But like, this is what trips me out. It's saying that it's 9 degrees out there, right? Now, if I go onto where the bomb gets from, the nearest bomb station for that area is 19 kilometre winds.
Where is that? How far
So Little River is just near it, is the nearest suburb.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
So it's 10 kilometres faster on the bomb than it is on there. I'm just trying to wrap my head around, could they actually have a microclimate on the track? Like at Nunda, I remember going to Nunda and it was like 25 degrees at 3 a.m. It was after it rained for like 4 days straight. The humidity was like 98% and the wind was like 6k per hour and it literally felt like you were floating. I'm talking like 2k per hour.
Sensory deprivation.
Bro, it was literally like you were rolling 2k per hour quicker for the amount of time. But at the same time, performing in that level of humidity and heat, we don't know, bro. Like it might actually get to a level where you actually can't rehydrate your system enough to produce the power at 80% fucking humidity, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not even an Ironman. We're talking, it's like 4 back-to-back Ironmans. So you might get 15 hours in and have horrific system malfunctions. And you might lose 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So what we don't know, like let's just say that the weather here produces a speed which is 15 minutes slower.
Yeah.
It still might be faster than losing 45 minutes to horrific cramps and heat.
Yeah.
Now, there's also the fact that they might have a microclimate out there, which is destiny. It's its own destiny vortex out there with like moderate to low air pressures, moderate winds. I've only done 15k on that track. If you put that in perspective, I did almost like 3,000 laps of Nunda, which is a 1k track.
Yeah.
Which in perspective is almost, it's only like 1,000 k's off the width of Australia on Nunda, you know? So it's been hard for me to go from that level of preparation and trust to go, oh yeah, I'll do 3 laps. I went out there to do the survey, sat in the car for 2 hours, got out there, hopped in the back of these Rangers, went out there with Eddie, and they were like, all right, go. And I had 3 laps, and I was just like, simultaneously trying to ride it. Went from sitting on my ass, like 8 degrees, to doing 3 laps at 41, 42, and the whole time my ass was on fire. It was on fucking fire. I couldn't breathe, my ass was on fire, and I was trying to work out like, oh, it's destiny, and I was like, I go from this is the greatest thing in the world to, oh, I'm fucked, I'm completely screwed. And then I'd be like, oh, this is great, and then I'd be like, oh, my ass hurts. And so it's, I tell you what, there's this what if component where it's like, it might be the greatest thing known to mankind. I think it might actually be that. Key point, I'm feeling good. I've been tapering now for almost 5 weeks.
If I heard anyone else say I'd been tapering for 5 weeks, I'd be like, no, you just give it up cycling.
It's actually hard for me, man. I've been trying to incorporate just 1 6-hour ride every week, which is roughly 25% of the total distance time. Which is actually quite a challenge because it's like your body's resting and you're kind of switching off, but then you're like, all right, I'll go do another 225k. I'll go do another 200k. So
there's aspects to it that are very like difficult.
Yeah.
It's just 1 ride a week.
You find that if you do a lot of training and then you taper down, your body just is trying to go into this shutdown mode where it's like, I don't want to do anything, and you find it hard to do anything.
Yeah.
So trying to keep it alive and awake and in the motions of it is actually quite a challenge.
Yeah.
So those last few 6-hour rides were the hardest. Because your body's like, I can't be fucked, what are you doing? Just rest, you don't need to do it. It's like, you don't need it, you're tapering.
You're tapering now, bro.
Just do half an hour. Big shout out to Craig and Wes from Zwift. They've sent over a trainer. The whole Zwift setup.
Including a towel?
Including a towel. My mind's been open to Zwift a bit more than what it used to be. Like I used to not really, like I've tried Zwift before.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, oh yeah, but now that we're doing this project, which is involved with Africa and that, like, my mind's been open to what Zwift can do for people who don't have opportunity. I tell you what got me with the Zwift this time is the fact that people in Masaka are using the Zwifts to compete competitively overseas, to give them the opportunity to like compete at the world level. That hit me in the heart, and I was like, send me the Zwift thing now.
It's amazing.
I was like, I need it now.
There's not many ways that someone over there can really interact with other people in the world, you know? And this is a way.
That's what, you know, like, that's the crazy thing, is that, like, where you're born, like, it's kind of one of those things, like, some people are born with all the talent in the world, but they're not born into a circumstance which nurtures that talent. I mean, I think about that a lot in a lot of these African countries. It's like, imagine how many gems are just sitting there, athletically, who just never get, like, okay, we hear about, you know, Ethiopian marathon runners and just like jack Nigerian weightlifters and shit like that, you know what I mean? Yeah. But that's a tiny percentage. Like, we don't, like, they can get on a Zwift, like someone at the Masaka Cycling Clubhouse, can get on a Zwift and go, oh, okay, let me do a 20-minute power test, and they can go, what the, like, and then they just pull up the UCI power graphs and go, mate, you're elite. You've just walked in off the street and you're elite. You know what I mean? Like, you've got elite talent. You need to join the cycling club. Yeah. This is cool. Come on, man. This thing's taunt.
It's gonna be harder than the TT.
I'm telling you, things are. We got enough room. It kicks up like. Who's on my wheel? No, 360 people. That was hard. It's way harder than on the road, because you're not moving.
Yeah.
It's a great training tool, man. You know, if I was probably open to it for longer, I kept my mind open to it, I probably could have got a lot out of it.
You're not bringing a towel?
No, we won't.
As far as I know, you squirt water on the coals.
Nah, that's fake.
That's fake.
But it steams. You're lasting pretty well.
This is my 4th day in here.
Hey?
This is my 4th day in here.
In a row?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been good. So I'm doing a sauna bathing protocol. My good friend Stephen Lane put me onto it. It's actually quite challenging, bro, especially this is a hot sauna. This is the hottest sauna I found in Melbourne so far. Especially if you tweak the fucking thermostat.
Yeah.
We're in our last 5 minutes of the sauna. We've done 2 rounds. It's absolutely steaming in there. It's like Iron Man Hawaii on the hottest day ever happened. So, this is where we go from silver to gold. This is where we get purified. I'm going to show you some real wacky techniques in there. When we step back in there, you do not exist. So the part of you that feels the heat, doesn't exist. The part of you that does exist is the part watching the part that's getting hot as fuck. So that's what we're going to keep in mind.
Yeah.
There's nothing to will, there's nothing to do, there's only things to watch, and you create all judgments on what's too hot, what's too cold, what's too stressful, what's not too stressful. And this is it. So we're going to go in there, empty our minds completely. You don't exist. You don't exist. Key point. Empty yourself of yourself, and we'll see how long it can last. Plus, I'm trying out this new TT technique. It's a bit crazy, but I feel dishonest if I don't show it to you, because it could make the difference. We'll get in a TT position, and if we're really struggling, we'll bear our minds on the cycle. That's right.
You leave your stuff behind out here?
You leave everything behind, except the camera. Okay. We're getting the TT position, just because
Are you struggling already?
I will be in set for that.
That's pretty extreme.
Can't you laugh now, but what? Now we'll just finish with some deep breaths, eh?
I'm cooking, man.
Suck the belly button. I'm telling you. Bring fucking energy to the brain. You breathe in the fuckery, you exhale peace and joy. Or you breathe in the suffering, you release joy. Whatever you want. If you plug yours in, bro.
We don't need one plug in, we can just little.
Copy.
Copy machine.
Copy.
I just wonder, like, damn it.
See that there? That's today. That's tomorrow.
Let's pull it up on the big screen.
Okay.
Let's pull it up on the big screen.
Okay. So if we go to this is what I use as a forecast.
That's the meta.
So it can be wrong, but
Bro,
it's not going to get more
I get
accurate.
colourblind on that and go like, is that light blue or dark blue or like what is it? It's that way.
Yeah. So from they do it from
So
the
wait,
south. Yeah. From the south.
This is my question to you: is that counterclockwise on the track? I'm just trying to think. Wait, is counterclockwise that way?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, and we've got
exposure.
the wind coming in this way. It's probably going to be stronger on the left side than the right side. So you probably want to use that as a tailwind here. And then the headwind is hopefully protected by the range, you know what I mean? So if the wind is coming from that direction, but you haven't ridden it clockwise, have you?
No. I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
What's your role going to be over the event?
I'll drive a little bit.
Yeah, Tamas is a driver.
Okay.
He's also just moral support.
Is he driving you mentally as well? Like,
Yeah, of course.
I think we're all driving.
We're all
Yeah.
driving mentally. So,
Yeah.
but it's just going to do anything and everything.
cool.
It's not a specific thing,
Yeah.
you know. So, driving, talking, relax, just being there.
Yeah.
Just being there probably is the most important thing.
It should be good.
I think it's going to be
Because
good.
you need to, like, you're over preparing for us. Like, do we have...
I know, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I just want it to be clean because I just know, like, I know that riding for 24 hours is easier than sitting in a tent for 24 hours. Sitting in a tent for 24 hours is traumatic on the body. You need to have a good camping chair.
We can walk
I'm probably
up
gonna
You need to
walk the
have
whole
a good
track.
heater.
Play
It's freezing
cards.
out there.
Yeah.
We got cards. I got card decks.
Everyone's Scrabble.
We got
Monopoly.
non-nicotine vape. So so people can be doing the non-nicotine vape just to
Should get a
stimulate
shisha.
that. Yeah, we're gonna have a shisha cafe.
Watermelon shisha.
We're gonna have a shisha. We can't put that in. Ford won't let us. So
But there'll be a possibility that I can go somewhere and like, yeah, like bring
it's pretty cool, right?
First place.
I think I'm gonna do 85. Do you reckon it goes down? It's then decreasing cold. So I might even say 9.
This is not an issue, is it?
No, that's just those wheels. I don't know what that is in those wheels. I think it's a better. Oh, they're quick like that. You like the saddle?
So,
He's got the world's most sensitive gooch. Oh, that's not a positive thing.
I need to switch the motor off.
I pulled over, got a drink, and I was like, I do this thing when I get really bad. I drop my hand. So I just pulled over inside and I'm riding off like this, just head down. 4 or 5 pedal strokes. I'm looking at my knee and I just go head first.
Over the bonnet.
Just park, and this thing just snapped. It just went halfway down like that, and my lip,
You should see.
my top tooth cut into my lip, and then my lip was like that for a week.
We lit, man.
Yeah, that's good. Well, that's so right.
But you're checking the PSI because I'm the rider. Oh, you're right. I'm riding.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Alright, stop. Check the PSI. Try and put this wheel in because I reckon that's faster. Sweet. Oh, 29. Perfect.
Okay.
You gotta get back on. Oh, we've got to switch.
Okay, it's good.
Is that good? Alright, I got you.
And then we roll out like that.
Perfect.
We're not allowed to push.
That was a 60.
No pushes.
Oh, no pushing. Oh, no pushing.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no pushing.
Yeah.
We're going to have to rehearse that.
Mono's ex-Mercedes AMG Formula 1 mechanic.
That's right.
I'm considering just craning this fucking whole Curve HQ out. This is actually the home of adventure cycling in Australia.
Not the world. I was just going to say something.
It's actually the truth, hey?
But that's very kind. There's been some great riders.
Come from these walls.
Yeah.
From these. Yeah,
Is that you?
walls.
Is that Beach
Oh,
Road?
that's me and JP. Yeah.
Is that Beach Road?
Yeah, we
It sounds all dramatic and shit, but that's the truth. That's the truth. Like, imagine if a Zwift trainer gave someone the ability in Uganda to become a professional cyclist. To go from absolute, like, just abject poverty to being able to carve a life for themselves.
It just takes away.
That's insanity. Like, that's just this. That's all that is. That's this. This one, I don't know how much it costs. $1,000 trainer. Someone donate or give or just, it ends up there. And then someone rolls off the street and goes, let me try it. And goes, wow, I got talent. And goes, all right, cool. I'm going to carve out a life for myself and my family. From poverty to the fucking pro Peloton dude with a Wahoo kicker.